Young, been with Kleeneze now, I think 13 years, and it's had massive success. Okay, highest turnover. I haven't got my pad with all the details on, but I think it's 150,000 in one period. Is that right? Amazing. Highest income over £4,000. So this girl really knows what she's talking about, and she really is a girl on fire because she's now Silver SED. Top qualifier for the Adventures of the Sea, the cruise that's happening very shortly. Been to, I think, 7 other conferences in her time, so she really does know her stuff. And I just want to get you to give you a massive, massive welcome to Abigail Colclough.
You might need the clicker.
I need the clicker. Well, no, I don't. You know this picture? I'm liking it. I'm not going to bother with my slides. Let's go leave that one up. Is that all right with you? Brilliant. Wow. Wow, it looks great from you. Thanks, Peter and all his team for inviting me today. This is a fantastic venue. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just a shame we're not outside in the sunshine because we've just started to see it again, haven't we? But as Andy said, I'm Abigail Colclough. I work the business around my son. Am I going to have to turn this picture off? That's Max there, my little boy. Let me see. And today I'm just going to really tell you about my journey with Kleeneze. How I started and what I've done with it really, just to show you that simply, if I can, anybody can really, is the kind of message. I mean, listening to the story about tracking from Sahel there, I was getting a bit nervous. Because who's not that organised in here? Anybody? Come on, you can be brave with it. I'm not going to ask you to do anything. It's so frightening, isn't it? I thought, oh my gosh, don't do that to me. We all come with different skills into this business, you see, and strengths and weaknesses. And being organised as much as that is one of my weaknesses. But so those of you in there, I mean, it's amazing. Like I said, £10,000 and massive amounts of retail. It's out there, the money. But we come with different strengths, different weaknesses. So I just wanted to tell you where I came from and what I've really done with it so far. My first cheque, I know you can't see this actually at the back, it's a long room, but my first cheque in the business was £217. Stand up if you've had a cheque more than that in your first 4 weeks in business. Stand up, we'll leave them a little bit. Nearly everybody. £50 a week, yeah? Excellent, thank you. Sit down just to show new people. You start where you start. It wasn't as bad as the hills with the £87. But how I joined was I had a really good job. I worked full-time, busy job, and a really good job actually. I liked it, and I wasn't looking for anything else. I didn't want an extra 50 quid a week. I wasn't looking for a change in career. I was kind of happy bungling along. My manager was, who's got a rubbish, horrible boss? Who's got a job? Who's got a job in here? Anybody got a job still? Just, oh well, we'll be out soon. Who's got a rubbish boss? Okay, yeah, people do. Who's got a good boss? Yeah, well, that's so. Yeah, I had a really good manager, so I couldn't complain. It was a good job. It got me around Europe on an expense account a few times a month. Drinking on the European Commission money, it's always good. and I liked it, but I kind of fell across Kleeneze. My partner at the time got made redundant, and you'll have heard the story, a lot of people here, but for those that haven't, he then laid on the couch, waiting for a job to jump through home and away. And I got a bit fed up with it, so I looked through the local newspaper and I found an advert that just said deliver catalogues, and he drove a car, so I thought, well, you can do that. You can do that. Anyway, Neil came to see me. Well, this is something for your notes actually, because I got a phone call to say, oh, we sent you some information, what did you think? And at the time I was really busy, I was decorating the living room. And I didn't think anything. It wasn't for me. I wasn't really bothered. I was drill under one arm, piece of wood under the other, bit of skirting board under the other arm. And so it was like, no, I'm not interested, bang. And put the phone down. Now, to this day, I don't know if it was pure accident or somebody messed up and wasn't organised and they just... But to ring me back 2 weeks later and say the same thing So it might have been an accident, just messed the notes up, or Neil might have thought, oh, she sounded reasonable but busy. So no, write this in your notes when you're sponsoring. Prospecting is a process. No doesn't mean no, it just means not yet. And it's a really important point. Really crucial important. I mean, now we've all got databases and we can throw information out on a regular basis to people. But the process of showing people, sometimes the timing is just not right. And when I think about what could have been if I hadn't got that phone call 2 weeks later, it's happening now. I'm getting all weird feelings about where could I be if I hadn't had this business. And it frightens me, actually, it really does. But anyway, I got started up. Neil came to see me, and the boyfriend hid in the bedroom. He said it was a lot of rubbish. We'd looked at the information by this time. So again, it's not what you send, it's what you say to people. Your enthusiasm, your level of confidence and posture when you're talking to somebody is important. Scribble that down, I would. But anyway, the boyfriend hid in the bedroom. He didn't want to know. I just don't think he wanted to know about working full stop, to be honest with you. And then Neil went. He showed me this business and I thought, my God, if this thing works, who'll start that? Fingers crossed. Now, Peter told me there were 500 people here today. So, louder. Who thought, oh my God, if this thing works? Yeah? Oh, there's 200. Neil showed me the business and I'd just never seen one like this before. I'd never heard of anything like network marketing. The thing that got me was the 45-year plan, because I was on it. But the thing that got me was I didn't actually realise that I was on it. Who knew that that's where you were going to end up when you were 60 odd? You'll work all your life for somebody else, you'll take holidays when they tell you to, and if you're lucky, you'll earn 30 grand. I was on about 19 or something when I saw this in my job. If you're lucky, and then you drop back to your pension, a third of what you were on. So if you were lucky enough to get 30 grand, you start on 10 grand when you're 19, you work forever, you get to 60, 70, whatever, to get 10 grand. Well, I just thought that's a rubbish plan. So fingers crossed, I thought, I hope this thing works. And the partner, Neil, went and he said, oh, the negginess was just unbelievable. It's rubbish, it's a con, you're going to lose all your money, it won't work. Now, lots of people, I'm sure, have had, put your hands up high or give me a yay, have had that, or maybe still getting that, some new people. Yeah. Okay. I'm not saying this is in his case, but in a lot of cases, your family and your friends just care about you. So if you are getting negativity thrown at you from left, right and centre, kind of switch it around a little bit in your brain to think that actually they're just a bit ignorant, they don't really know, and what they're really saying is I care about you and I don't want you to mess up. Because then it's easier to kind of deal with. Or, if it's not really that and they don't really care about it, you can just think, I'll show you, mate. And show it to them. Because that's what I did. I got started straight away. There was a little meeting that night, and Neil said, do you want to come along and have a look? And it was like, well, yeah. I don't know you from Adam. I'm hoping this thing, it looks good. But when you get around people like this, you see. So 9 months later, part-time around this full-time job, I was earning £1,100 a month part-time. And a lot of that motivation actually was to shove it to the boyfriend at the time to say, this thing works. And that was amazing. I set a goal to go on the Monte Carlo trip. I just said to Neil, can I win that trip? You know, the trips that are up for grabs, and he just said, yeah. There was no dilly-dallying. There was like, yes, you can. If you get stuck in, you can. So, clueless. Who's clueless? Who's still clueless? Put your hands up high. I want to see all everybody, new people, look around. Look at the clueless people. Yeah. No idea what I was doing. I just used to ring Neil and say, right, I've done that, what do I do next? Right, Neil, I've done that, what do I do next? I've done that. And I'm not joking you, sometimes, especially when I started on the phone, you know, sponsoring, I was ringing in between calls. I'd ring somebody, they'd say something different, I'd ring Neil, like they said this, and I used to ring him 4 times a day sometimes. So are you a person that's ringing your sponsor 4 times a day? Who rings their sponsor 4 times a day? Oh yeah, you'll be really successful. What I find is that the people that ring the sponsor and keep in touch regular, you don't have to do it, you have to go overboard. You can do a bit, but you know, they might get a little bit fed up. Is the people that are in touch, the people that communicate with the sponsors on a regular basis, every day in the beginning, a couple of times a day when you're training and getting through that learning curve, and at least once a week, I'd say every day, I'd forget the once a week, every day, Those are the people that are successful. So if you're new and you're listening, you think, oh, I don't want to ring them because your sponsor's so happy to hear from you regularly. That's their job. That's why they get paid the bigger money. Anyway, I digress, which will be happening a lot. £1,100, 9 months later, Monte Carlo. 440 Kleeneze distributors went to Monte Carlo. 440, so nearly this room. Can you imagine that? En masse to Monte Carlo on an amazing 5-star trip the first year in. Unbelievable. And so don't think that these trips are for people that have been in a while. They're not. They're for anybody that chooses that they're going to go on them. So that was just amazing. The belief was up. Obviously, I was a gold distributor, and it was absolutely fantastic. Now, what happened after that is I didn't have a goal after that. And you hear me bang on about goals quite a lot because it's something that I struggle with. So I tend to find if I struggle with it, some other people may have done as well. And so after the Monte Carlo, I didn't have a goal, so I kind of drifted along for a little while. Also, I was kind of doing the personal development in the early days, and then I kind of stopped, the books and the CDs. So I put that on the back burner because it's when we're busy in our lives, and children and jobs and things, it tends to be, the personal development tends to be one of the first things that goes out the window. Because you're kind of too busy. 10 pages a day kind of gets forgotten about. Who does 10 pages a day? Regularly. Now that's about, my maths is rubbish, but that's probably about a tenth of the room. The thing that's going to help you massively in all areas, not just in your business, is 10 pages a day. So I'm going to ask for commitment. Who's going to read 10 pages a day from now on in? Yeah. Please. Yeah? Brilliant. Because that's what's going to shift you forward. Now, you'll hear this at meetings a lot. I did. And at times I've sat in meetings thinking, yeah, I'll do that. I will do that. And then I didn't. And then I will do that. And I'll show you later on where the slow parts of your business come and where the fast parts go. And you'll see the difference, hopefully. So, I moved along a little bit. I maintained. Maintaining on £1,100–1,200 income, that's not bad, is it? So I'd suggest you go quite fast, have a sprint at it to get to this £1,000 or beyond. And then if you want to take your foot off the pedal, you can or not, but just sprint for a little while. Use a sprint in this business to get the momentum building, to build you to first gold distributor, and I would aim for like bronze executive, to be sure of a residual. But I then became a mum to my fabulous son Max, who's now 10, which is probably the best thing I've ever done in my life. The great thing was that I could give the job back, because at the time I was earning between, it was kind of I'll have to dig, I'm rubbish with figures, so don't quote me, but it was between like £1,400 and £1,800. This is a cheque here for £1,500 a month. Now that is a full-time wage, it's pretty much what I'll get in a full-time job. So the job I didn't need the job anymore. Who'd love to be in a position where they don't need the job, they can say, give it to somebody else, I don't need it anymore. Yeah? 10 pages a day. Okay, so that's what happened. And then obviously as a mum, people didn't say to me congratulations when I told them I was having a baby. They just sort of said, liar, you're lying, because I wasn't the maternal type. So I didn't get congratulations, well done, it was more disbelief and are you sure and can we see the pregnancy test? But obviously, as I knew, I was 28, 29, I knew the brain flips and you fall in love, don't you? So then, who wants to then give your baby to somebody else to look after while you go off out to work? Oh, absolutely not. I would not have had a child had I not had this business to go off. And Max did go when he was, when they get into everything and they get a bit older and they're a bit bored with you. He did go to 2 sessions a week because he was kind of ready for it. And I always remember this, that one of this little play private nursery thing, there was this baby, and I get right teary about it, 6 months old. And he was there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 at night. And all of a sudden this kid appeared. And every time I turned up for Max to pick him up, he'd had a brilliant time, and it was like, yeah, all excited. This child was crying, screaming all the time for weeks. It got to a point where I'd say, can You bring Max out, I just couldn't go in to see this kid. 6 months old. But this is like what happens to people. My best friend, same with her children. And so who wants that for the kids? I've been there the whole time. Me and Max were like thick as thieves, absolutely brilliant. In fact, for him to go to nursery kind of ruined our life a little bit. Because we used to just pack up and go wherever, whenever. Because this business is so flexible. We used to go to friends' houses for tea and stay for 3 days. Because you can do your calls wherever you want, can't you? You can do whatever you want, wherever you want. I remember my friend's husband saying, "Are you going home?" I'm like, "No, not yet." Quite happy here, thank you very much. But then he started going to nursery, and I had to be home, to do the organised thing and make sure, get home. There were a few times when we'd set off back from friends at like 6 in the morning to get home and get him off to nursery. So it kind of kiboshed it as a playtime. But the best times of his life, just being around, playing in the park, enjoying your children without worrying about going to work. Oh, I forgot to say, at that time I became a single mum as well. Max was 18 months old and I became a single parent, which can be quite traumatic for people. It's not the best of things, but these things happen. But again, because of the income, we didn't have to do the sell the house and all this and divvy the finances. I just stayed and carried on regardless because I could support myself, part-time, flexible, on the income that I had. So that was pretty cool too. Conferences so far. The first year was Monte Carlo, and that was amazing. And then, as I say, I just kind of mooched along with the business. Kept doing it a bit, going to meetings. That's one thing I never did, is I never missed meetings. I was doing the retail, the customer base, and like Phil said, your customers are your friends, some of your best friends in fact. I remember once, I told this story the day, I've forgotten about it. They can be two good friends actually, because I lived in a flat at the time, and there's 4 blocks, and this night I went out for my deliveries, and luckily I'd not put the note through the door to say when I was going to deliver. I didn't tend to really do that then. Because I got to my friend's house next door and then we stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning drinking. So I delivered one order that night. These friends who were customers, and then we had a major party at their house, and I don't remember getting home the next day. Needless to say, I blocked work that day too. But your friends, customers, friends, whatever you want to call them, it certainly is a people business. Thailand was absolutely amazing. Went with Kev and Neil and Karen there. That was 2008. So it's quite a big gap between the first conference and the next, but it doesn't matter. You move the business when you move the business. Okay? Caribbean, that was brilliant. New York, the Coventry Olympic Stadium, watching the football, or not, drinking as the case may be. Again. You don't have to be an alcoholic to work the business, by the way. This one's not an advert. Miami was amazing, Dubai and the Maldives, and then we've got the cruise coming up shortly as well. So these are 5-star gorgeous holidays. I've got some pictures. You can't see them, I'm afraid. I'll describe them. This is Karen. Karen's at the back there, Karen Boardman. We got stuck on the M1 for 2.5 hours. We missed the flight. What an amazing company Kleeneze are, because they just booked us another flight. And we were there about 3 hours. How many hours, Karen? How many hours late were we? 2 hours late. What an amazing company. They didn't say, "Oh no, you'll have to pay yourself," or this, that, or they were like, "Oh, really sorry you're late, don't worry, we'll get you here." And we came out of the airport, and as you do, you see this big stretch limo, and you think, "Oh, what do you that's for?" So it is, you're having a look around. It was for us. Needless to say again, we took ages getting into the limo. Slow motion. These are the kind of things that Kleeneze distribute. 3 days earlier, you're picking up your catalogues in the rain, getting drenched, thinking, "Oh, that woman's a straggler again. Can she not read? I've got 3 slips through for crying out loud." And then the next year, you're getting into a limo in Miami. Not bad, eh? This is Kevin's. That's one of the pools in Miami. The pictures, I'm not brilliant at pictures, but and then Karen, the lovely Karen down here, all glammed up going out on a night out. But just crazy, isn't it? Catalogues 1 minute, rain, stragglers, orders to deliver, maybe a couple of returns on the way. Yeah, speaking to your team, etc., helping people. This was Dubai. I don't know if you can see see this picture, there's about 10 of you in, or 8 or something, and you send you off down this crazy, Dale, I still like theme parks. That's a hangover cure, that one. Amazing. Kath and Alpha, first time qualifiers there. That was just chilling out on the I don't know what you'd call it, a lawn. The darling lawn in Dubai. Amazing, 5-star, beautiful. And you can't see that picture there, but champagne. There's always champagne in the area, isn't there, when you go out with Kleeneze. And 15 of us in Dubai. I'm going to mention this shot in a bit, but that was the team in Dubai, 15 people in Dubai. You see, you go on these trips with your team, and they are super sonic. And that was just the best trip there. 15 of us in Dubai. And first-time qualifiers, there was 4 or 5, 6 or 7 first-time qualifiers. So who's planning to go to the November destination here? And then there's Jamaica as well. The only requirement is believe that you can. What I did was I went round to everybody, right in the early days, and I told everybody I was going to Monte Carlo. I was about 13% level, didn't have a clue, and I just told everybody. While I'm out retailing, I might say a cat, I'm going to Monte Carlo. Just let you know. Just everybody, be accountable, just shout it from the rooftops. Because I always remember this when my manager used to take the mickey. He was a nice guy, but he used to take the mickey and say, oh, ding dong, Kleeneze's calling. And they brought me a mop today, you know, all the usual stuff that you get. I remember the day I was in work when I found out about qualifying for the Monte Carlo trip, and this is true, I ran in his office and I just went, yay! I walked back out like that and sat at the desk, and a few minutes later he went, and at that point I had the website on with the hotel, which is the Grand Hotel, the one with the Grand Prix and everything, amazing, and they all started to shut up. So tell everybody you're going on the November. I know we can't say where it is yet till May, but tell everybody you will go if you tell everybody. This is my income now as a single mum, around £4,000 a month. 3,500, 4,000. One of my biggest is I think that was my biggest, 4,396. That's a lot of money. Sometimes I have to think, oh, that's £1,000. That's from being consistent, the dreaded word, from working with your team and just sticking with it. You know the emotional roller coaster that you just saw? We're all on it all the time. The books will get you through the ups and the downs to help you become sort of stable in your, you know, in your steady path. But that's the income at the moment. It's not enough. It's just not enough. Spend it. But start, if you think, 217 to 4,000. And I mean, some incomes in here are much bigger than that, so that's where we're headed. Now, I thought I'd show you my plan, because as a single mum, obviously your time, you've got to plan your time well. And again, in the beginning, it wasn't that brilliant. I wasn't that disciplined. Who disciplined Peter as? Nobody. And some of us are worse than others. But it all takes time to bring the skills in. But this is my master plan now. I'll try and show you. Customer-based retail, that's really easy to do in 2 days a week, then a few stragglers. The blue bit is a call. So what I try to do is get all the calls done in the morning. Now, people say, oh, do you find people in the morning? I certainly do. The green bit is the family time. I think it's good to have a balance, especially when you work from home, to cut off. So about 2:30, I'll take the Kleeneze hat off, and I put the mum hat on, and I do the washing up if pushed. And then I turn back into mum for Max coming home. Now, he's never known anything else. I don't know if he even thinks that I actually work, really, apart from a couple of webinars in the evening. But that's playtime then, playing out, going, doing whatever we want to do. And then goal time, review time with people in the evenings and stuff. So you just fit it around, but it's good to have a clear plan. This is my master plan. It pins on the wall, and then everything works from that. Because it doesn't always work perfectly, but if you've got a master plan, you can then plan your week. So I find that really useful. It's just an easy life. It's just what does the GoPro book say? It says it's not perfect, it's just so much better. Yeah, it's just so much better. Just a few pictures. This is my brother. We extended in Dubai because I can, and we went with Kleeneze. Then we went to the Maldives, which was amazing. And then I waved bye-bye to everybody. I felt a bit mean actually at the airport. And everybody came home, and I stayed. My brother lives there, so I had nearly a week with just me and him as an adult time, you know, playing out. And then I flew my son out. He was 9 at the time. He was really brave, I thought. I flew him out. He came out on his own, and then we stayed another week again. So 3 weeks holiday. 1 week played by Kleeneze, and then 2 weeks playing out, enjoying themselves. So no asking for time off work, no asking for, you know, anything. We just enjoyed it, and then came back and thought, oh my God, Christmas is coming. What's going on? But that's what you can do with your kids. You can give them whatever. This was just a camping trip. We also like camping. We can do the luxury and the slob in it. That week I was a mum of 5. Mum of 5. I even took them to Tesco and survived. My friend hadn't had a holiday for 13 years due to work and obviously having 4 kids, etc. And I just said, oh, I'll take them, you can go. And off we went, and I took them. But also in the holidays, I take the 6 weeks holidays off. Anybody else take the 6 weeks holidays off? Yeah, we just take it off. Every holiday, for the school holidays, we kind of work school holidays. If there's a meeting, I'll do the meeting. But generally, as soon as the 6 weeks come, that's it, we're off work. So I don't know how many weeks a year that is, but it's a lot, isn't it? There's barely bloody school nowadays. And that's because I can, because the business is flexible. And I can take the time. I don't have to run to grandma or childminders or all this, that and the other. I can just take the time off. Amazing stuff. That's my son there with his Italian student. We could do that as well, his students coming over. Me and my brother there enjoying a meal, like I said, before Max arrived, so we were out late at night. And it's just freedom, really. I mean, £4 a month in Kleeneze is not a massive amount, but it's enough to give you the freedom of choice, and obviously money as well. And then the dog, I put the dog on there just because they're bloody expensive. We got a pup at Christmas, which I've been dilly-dallying about doing. And after the conference down in Cheltenham, I came back. I had a bar bill for £100 odd that morning from the team, and James O'Neill, wherever he is. Thanks very much, James. And the team. And then I got home absolutely shattered because we'd had a training meeting as well, and the dog was poorly. We'd only had it 2 weeks, so it was another £200 for the dog. Now, in normal life, when you work, and I remember these times, if you're forking out £300 in a day, all of a sudden, it's a bit of a shock, isn't it? Or if, like, your washing machine breaks down or the car breaks down, it can cause a bit of a problem. Who think that might cause a bit of a problem? It does, doesn't it? And you get stressed, don't you? But when you're in Kleeneze and you've built it up and you've worked hard, it doesn't cause, it's not a big stress amount. Yeah, £200 for a vet bill for a dog, you're not happy, let's put it that way, but it doesn't cause you problems. And again, that's freedom for yourself. So yes, the little dog down there, the gorgeous team. Remember, it starts with, I think, just under £800 of orders and a living room floor full of catalogues. And I go, I hope this thing works. And then it's from one to many. And it can go as big as you like. I think I've got about nearly 400 people in my team now. Yeah? But this is a picture again that you can't see. Oh. What I wanted to show you is I didn't find those people. I just found a couple of good ones. Because you don't need to go and sponsor the world. Oh, my business here. This is me. This is how it started. You can see I started there. So say that 10,000 in year 1. 12,000 got to gold distributor. Yeah. Then I moved on a little bit because I didn't really have clear goals and I kind of stopped developing as well. So I maintained the income, which was good, but I didn't grow. I then decided some goals again here. You can see that peak there? That's when I was reading again. That's when I had clear goals on where I wanted to go. That's when Max came along as well, so you can see the mum time here. So now, I was earning, like I say, about, say, average £1,500 a month there. And then can you see period 2010? And bit of a rubbish year. Well, it wasn't a bit, but it was probably the worst year of my life. And sometimes things knock you over in life, don't they? And I was kind of struggling through it all. I was struggling to think, what do I want? Because when you're not in a great place, it's hard to see butterflies and sunshine, isn't it? And think future focus and this, that and the other. But I kind of got a grip and I had one thing in my brain, because that's all I could squeeze in there at the point. And it was to go 15 active wide. 15 active wide on my front line. Because I couldn't really, to be fair, think of anything else to do. Okay? And so that's what I did, and it created amazing results. Firstly, the money, because if you're 15 wide, you've got a massively profitable business. So write in your notes, when am I going to be 15 active wide? That is like my top tip of the day, because everything comes from it. Everything. The leaders that you're looking for, the trips, etc., everything, the money. It's easy once you're at 15 active, like 10 to 15, it's just an easy business. And you can see there what happens from that. Not just that, but the 10 steps training, boom, shalaboom. So, it takes as much time as you want it to take. And it's when you're ready, when you're developing, when you've got your goals. But stick with the business because it will pay you. In friendships, in money, in freedom, in lifestyle, in everything that you could ever wish for. There will be times though, when you maintain, when you're moving up and down. Who in here has had an up and down situation? If everybody's hand doesn't go up, exactly. So, but is it worth it? Silver SED last year, fantastic. Like I said, I didn't find everybody myself. Kev Ryder, I didn't know him, and I didn't find him. He's an amazing leader in my business. It wasn't me that sponsored him. Carolyn and Paul are at the back there. Absolutely brilliant. I did find them. I put a catalogue through and I met at a toddler group. So they were a warm market stroke catalogue. Kath, now that's an amazing picture. Kath Shaw, she's at another meeting today, so she couldn't be here. But that was the first palm tree that Kath Shaw had ever seen. And we were still blubbing about that. That was in Dubai. She qualified for Dubai. How gorgeous is that to be able to help somebody see their first palm tree, don't you think? The whole time was just amazing. It's in Dubai, so it's inside as well, you know. Kath was another gold. Denise is here today, somewhere at the back there. Denise we've I've known since I was about 3 years old, a friend of my mum, so that was one market. Kath was a catalogue slip. Okay? And then John Gulliver and Kelly Gulliver, they work around there for kids, and they came from the internet. But you can see, I didn't find Kath and I didn't find Kev, so you don't have to find everybody. These people, from the 5, SED is 5 people wide, gold, that's what it means. These people are all under some more golds and silvers. And Karen Boardman, amazing bronze executive lady, fantastic story. Have us talk to her. I didn't find Karen, Tracy and Gary, working around the kids. Gary's a policeman. I didn't find him. I didn't find any of these people. These are amazing people in my business that came through somebody else. So it starts with you, and it leads wherever you want it to. We've got Andy and Sue. Julie Hem's here. Julie Hemingway there with gold last year. Alpha and Steve were in Dubai. Craig Skellen, ex-bank manager, he's not long left his job. Craig there. Okay. And Chris and Steph, downline from Kev, and Dave and Tonya. These are all people moving the business forward that I didn't find. It wasn't me. So just find some people who find some people. Oh, find it one. Okay. I wanted to show you this just because it's about goals again. It's about failure. If you can't see it, it's from something I did last year. And it was 30,000 PSG. I failed massively. It was an 18,000 PSG. I wanted £200,000 turnover by period 12, and I only got 150,000. Dubai trip with 15 new first-time qualifiers. Well, I'm putting a tick on that. They weren't all new first-time. Some of them were in Neil's team, but we work as a team, so I'm claiming that as a yes. Okay. £5,500 check by period 12 period. Well, it was 4.5. So again, that's a bit of a failure. Now me, I wanted to develop master coats. These are in different colours, but you can't see. That's just ongoing, so I was doing that last year, working with people, learning my skills of people. Health, well I smoke I'm an event smoker now. I don't smoke every day, I smoke at events, okay? Somebody said earlier you were smoking the whole time in Dubai. I'm like, yes, it was an event. And the monthly shopping. I'm not one for shopping and girly things, so I kind of had to force myself to go and do the shopping and girly things. So I'll put half a thing now, trying, not really. Family New York trip, well I changed that because goals changed, don't they? That's why I left it up. Summer holiday with mum we did, relationship building, all kinds of different family, etc. Team, so that's ongoing. Me and Max to Dubai, group camping out. These are just a few of my goals. Now if you count them up, the achievement ones, 1, dodgy one, but 1, 2, 3, that's 4 out of 14. I'm not good at maths. What's that? 4-ish? Quarter? Anybody? 4 out of 14? 8? Third? Okay, so I achieved, alright, we'll go with the third, doesn't matter. A third of the goals that I set, and I went public on these. Did anybody in Kleeneze come to me and say, oh, you didn't do that, and you didn't do that? No, because everybody supports everybody. But you've got to be brave enough to set the goal and be willing to fail. Because where did I get to? That year, last year was amazing, the team was amazing, the check went up. So yeah, it was amazing. But actually, only a third of the goals, or a quarter, we'll debate that later, were actually hit. You see? So does it matter if you miss some of your goals? No, not at all. You must set them, you must write them down, you must plan them. That's what I found. Don't get me wrong, it's hard to do and get into the habit of if you're not into that, but that's what I did. The goals this year, I'm just going to go public, to force me into going public and being accountable. £20,000 PSG. I've gone for a big, scary, oh my God, £300,000 turnover a month. That's doubling the business. It's quite frightening. It makes me feel a bit sick. It does. However, I'm going to leave it there and go for it. Because why not? Why the hell not? And you're not going to say to me next year, well, you didn't get it, and berate me like would maybe happen in the outside, oh, well, you didn't do it. People around me, my association with the Kleeneze crew, they're not going to do that. They're going to just say, well, you got nearer, well done, and get the support. It's amazing support we have. £6.5 grand cheque I want the money from Kleeneze, you know, like 25 grand. I don't want the car, I would wreck the car. The car would be worth 50p in about 3 months if I had it. Forget that. And some other stuff. It's just to go public on your goals. So I would say, top tip from me today is 15 active wide, urgently. Be fast with that one. Sometimes we hear in the business that it's a marathon, not a sprint. I would say sprint to 15 active wide. Yeah? And what other one? And set some goals down. Text your sponsor now in the break to say, these are my goals, and then they'll work with you for the planning. Hey? Oh, sorry, like have some goals written down, work on them, spend some time in your busyness using them each day to push you forward and keep your focus where you want it to be. So that's it. Thanks a lot for listening, and step up.